Okay, so we are here today because we are going to not talk about the basics. We're going to make the basics. So this is a working workshop. So what Marianne has stated a need for is like a lot of the kids don't really know the basics of using Google Apps or different tools and things. And how do we help them to know what those basics are? And then I agree with Marianne. Like I am so practiced that it's hard to remember what those basic things are. So actually this Google Slides is editable. If you would add a slide and tell me what is the most used ed tech tool that you use besides the Chromebook, as you know, obviously the access point would be the most used. But beyond that, you know, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a Google product, but if you would add a slide and tell me what is your most used tool.
Are you talking about apps or are you talking about actions like, cut and paste, the highlighting? Because I noticed that some students have problem with that dragging.
We forget that these are not skills you're born with.
Right.
That's good. That will be my next one, Marianne.
Okay.
So now, just in terms of some sort of a tool that I'll throw this one out there. Yeah. Navigate, we use Google Classroom.
Okay.
Right? I'll go yeah. Okay, Michelle's got that one. Come on. Loading eventually. Doc. Now, I tongue-in-cheek say don't use Google Docs. Just saying. It's okay.
Okay, so let me put slides on it. I'll change it.
So after they finish their writing on a slide, how do I put together their writing?
What do you mean?
Into a draft form. What would you put it on?
On a slide than being on a doc. I mean, it's text.
It's longer, that's why. Like 3 paragraphs. I guess it could be 3 paragraphs, yeah.
Right. Here, let me show you something. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
Page setup. 8.5 by 11. Enjoy. Boom.
Oh, yeah, I can make it bigger. I forgot.
Wait, how did you do
that? The slide can be bigger.
Setup.
Okay.
And I customized it to 8.5 by 11.
I forgot I could make it bigger. Oh, yeah.
All right, problem solved. One down.
Do you think one day the slides will be different sizes?
They are. You can customize it to whatever you want.
Like each one, but yeah. They'll be all the same. Yeah. Okay.
And the presentation makes sense for it to be different sizes, I think.
Yeah. Slides as it is.
So, Alice, the reason why you said do not use Google Docs is because why start with the minimum? Let's do slides. It's more interesting multimedia
conversation. So I was that's just one of my things that I say, Marianne. I obviously do use Google Docs. We all do. But I'd like you to take a pause where you think you're going to use a Google Doc and try not to.
Okay. All right. I get that.
Trying to make creative, critical thinking, number one. Google Docs are boring.
Mm-hmm.
Agree. The likely result is going to be something boring. If I take the exact same assignment, and I put it into slides.
Yeah.
The kids feel like it's okay to change the background or to use a different font, whereas they don't really feel that way about a Google Doc. The other thing I don't want to scroll a freaking Google Doc. Like that,
Right.
like I spend my whole life scrolling. If we use a Google Slides, I have them do one question per slide. Like I go to slide 4, I can link to slide 4 and bring it back. Like it will go to that particular spot.
Yeah.
Slides are multimedia. I can add feedback that's my Bitmoji or other images. Students can add images to go along with their response, and you can add video in ways that I think is just better than using
Yeah.
a document.
Okay.
You cannot embed a video, period, into a Google Doc. So if I go insert video, and I make all of these, like a Google Drive, I make a lot of screencastify videos. So I'm just going to pick one I already have. Okay. So don't worry about whatever the one this is.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's like I record myself giving some feedback and I just throw feedback on their slides. You can't do that with docs.
Okay.
And
Great.
It's a place to put text. So what's the difference?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Tongue in cheek, don't use Google Docs. Now I'm just just a challenge.
Mm-hmm. No. I get it. I've heard you saying it before, but now I understand it totally.
Okay. So now Kimberly's ahead of me a little bit, but what are some basic skills like the cut and paste, right? The highlighting. Someone had said that. So let's add a basic skill. Highlighting text. What is a basic skill you feel like kids, they don't know this. They come to me, they don't know it. How do
Mm-hmm.
I remember being on a Zoom earlier in the school year, and I posted a website for them to go to, and it wasn't a clickable link. And I said, well, just cut and paste it. And then I had
Right.
several students say, Miss, how do you cut and paste? What does that mean?
That's good. All right, so let's brainstorm. Let's put one thing per slide, my friends. What are some of the basics that we feel like students need some support and help with?
Do you think they need to know how to type a web address, Alice? Or do you think the teachers would? Yeah, they have a hard time.
But,
Totally.
I'll even throw this one in for you guys, things that drive me nuts. Is when text is highlighted, the people use the backup key and then start typing. Like, no, if it's highlighted, right? If I highlight this and then I just push a letter, it replaces it. That extra step of deleting. I think a lot of people don't realize that.
I do the same thing, Alice.
Using the computer is not a skill you're born with.
Right.
I think their parents bookmark all their websites for them so they don't get a chance to always type it in.
Fairly strongly that while it may seem like it's easier for us, when you do stuff for kids, they don't learn anything.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And so learning is messy, and I got to just take the first lots of time with my kids just to get them to do it for themselves. And it would be quicker for me to go put in the classroom code for them or these different things. But then what did they learn? Now you're always doing it for them. And it's learned helplessness. And if we don't start from birth making them take out the trash, do it yourself. When we're in the situation that we're in. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, Kimberly, what did you do with your background, your lighting? It's just, you're always pretty. You're just rocking it the last couple of times.
That's so funny. My son moved out last year, and his room is like storage, everything. So I've got one wall that's not piled high, but the lighting in here is amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'm just are you at a studio?
And it's kind of like that. So there's several different lighting. If I turn everything off and something else on, I get decent lighting. I don't know about all beautiful, but it's
you pop, girl. You look good.
Well lit. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so the next thing I'm going to direct you to is, this page. Here's the published link. This is what I meant to have up. Oh, I think I did already have it up. Yeah, it's here. So I'm going to put this in the chat. This is this week's premium page. And if you will just scroll down a little bit.
It's warm in here too.
Down to today's webinar, Basic of the Basics.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow.
Yeah.
You'll see that I have some buttons that I've created.
Oh.
So I thought I would start this off with a few examples, and then you guys can tell me if I'm on or off the mark.
Okay.
One of the things I feel really strongly about is we do not teach technology. I embed tech skills all the time in all assignments. If I have an assignment, I say use Control-T to make a new tab, right? I try to increase their digital literacy continuously and not as its own lesson. So if you'll click on this first one that says directions document, it'll prompt you to make a copy, which I don't want. And you'll see that I have a template that I've created for a directions document where part of it just starts off before I tell the students what the assignment is like, hey, why don't you show the document outline so you can see all of the sections of the directions. And then I've got an outline where you'd put your objective, what they're supposed to be doing. And then you guys know me with my Bitmoji. I actually have this totally set up to do that. So if you would like for today's activity, you can start with this. I'm going to go to the next one. If you look at this add text boxes one, you'll notice that I'm going to be doing an activity with students where they would use a jam and they would need to use the text icon, but I'm not going to assume they know how to do it, and nor am I going to stand at the front of them like, guys, click on this text icon. Hey, are you over there? Are you paying attention? What are we supposed to be doing? I just went over that. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I just don't play that game. I put the directions, I put screenshots of whatever it is I need them to click on. I don't ask them to look up at me for what to click on. And then I don't help them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will. But at first, really, the life skill is not whether or not they know the quadratic formula. To me, the life skill is if they know how to figure things out. And so I'm just going to help them with that. So you'll see here is if you have edit access to this, which you do not, so you use the 3 dots and choose make a copy.
Okay.
Is that I start off my activity, I start off my directions with the keyboard shortcuts, the buttons, the screenshots of the things that they would need to do. So do you see on this particular activity, it's blank. I'm just setting them up to know what to do next. Yeah. I even teach them, like, you can delete these initial frames that have directions on them because I've got the stuff later, but I embed right into the document those text skills. So this would be a template to get started that you'd actually build on your actual content. So on this third one, find your work. You need to go to classroom.google.com and click on the view your work. So you see what I'm doing is getting those screenshots in there and giving them some directions. But I would actually have, this is to me a starter of your directions document. Have whatever your learning objective is in your activity in there. But here's a screenshot starter that you could go from that includes those skills. And so things like highlighting, let's make one for highlighting. Let's make something like this that includes a skill that we'd like them to practice this time. Do you have any more? I have one more. I have this math spreadsheets. Not need a copy of. And I made this for my friend for her math class. So this is something that was actually used with students. So you'll notice that what I do is I'm including them, like, you need to have the slide shot Chrome extension. Now this Chrome extension doesn't work anymore. So this is just an example, right? Click on start. Here's a little screenshot of the start. then we're going to go to this 10 frames, and you're going to do these math 10 frames. And I'm embedding in here animated GIFs. Now, the way that I get the animated GIFs in my Google Docs and slides, is I use Snagit. I can't live without Snagit, really, you guys. And come back. So you can see as I scroll down here, I'm like, you're going to click on this. Those things that we would a lot of times stand up in front of the room and like, let me walk you through how to do this. No, the direction, this is a math activity, but I embed the directions document into the skills into the directions document so that for students, some of them can get right to it, others not so much. And after going through it, I might need to sit with a few kids and like, okay, let's do this together. But at first, I want you to try it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide up our list. And your task is to create something that's a starter that someone can make a copy of and then add their directions and things in it, but it already has some of the key screenshots or directions. So before we do that, I am going to show you how I do some things. So if you would with me, we're going to do these on a Google Doc. We're going to do a docs.new. If you would do a docs.new, make a new Google Doc. And I'm going to show you my few basic things I do. That doesn't mean you have to do them. So if you started a new document, I always start my directions documents with directions in capital letters as the first part, first word. And then I go to File, before I do anything, I push Enter several times, like a bunch. Why? Because I need to put pictures and text. I don't want to mess, what I'm talking about. The fonts, you change the font, now you're living with that font for the whole rest of the time. So I find it helpful to just push Enter so that I can be putting this down here and oh, I need something up here and I need something in the middle, so I can order and arrange things as I'm no, I needed this above it. It gives me some space. Then I go to File and Page Setup. File, Page Setup, and I set my margins to be 0.3 because I'm not printing it. So I File, Page Setup, and my margins are 0.3. So far, so good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so then, now this one's going to be tricky, my friends. I insert a table that is 2 by 1.
And did you say 0.3, right? Margins, not 3.
I mean, do what you want. You definitely don't need 1 inch. You're not going to print it.
Right. Okay. And a table.
Right, so I'm going to insert a table. And I get in between in the 2 cells, you've got this line and you can drag it to resize. So I usually end up with a small cell and a big cell. And even then, so we talk about basics, that's tricky to do. And then everyone knows what's coming next. I literally drag my Bitmoji into this smaller box. So if you have Bitmoji Chrome extension, you can insert your Bitmoji in there. And the way Google Docs works is the size of the cell is the size of the image. So I want to make sure that I resize that first cell to be smaller so that when I put my Bitmoji in there, it's not all big and I have to resize it. And over here, I think it's really important that as we build documents, we always use headings. So I'm going to call this one, you see up in the toolbar, it says normal text. I'm going to change that to title. So So I'm going to wait a second. You're going to insert a table 2x1. Resize, take that middle bar in the middle, resize, make it a little smaller, get some sort of an image in that first box. And in the second box, I make a title, titling my document. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to use a different font. I'm going to pick a different font. And this gets a little tricky. I'm going to highlight the table. I highlight the table and I right click. Whoa, that's new. It says change page to landscape. I'm going to highlight the table. I'm going to right click, go to table properties. And under table properties, I do a table border of 0. Table border 0, and then I do cell vertical alignment is middle. Okay. And I create these all throughout my directions documents. And remember I said you had a copy of this one, not this one. This one. I already have it set up where it's got a place, the tables set up for you to put your Bitmoji and your information in there, if you would like.
And the cell settings was under tool or?
Okay, so you highlight the table.
Uh-huh.
And you
the right click. Sorry, yeah.
No problem. And you go to table properties.
Properties, okay. Thank you.
Of course.
How do you make it so your Bitmoji doesn't move in there?
It just does it. What do you mean?
Okay. Just make it smaller in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that I think the right click is also a skill, right?
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to insert a table. And I am going to I'm going to go to full screen mode right now, actually. I'm going to stop presenting, and I would like to present my entire screen. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this font larger. Too large. Large. Okay, and then I'm going to start my Snagit. I'm going to record this as a video. So do you see how I'm demonstrating the skill of just double clicking on the word? And in my Snagit, it just made this little video of what I just did. And then I hit GIF. It's going to create an animated GIF out of this, which I am going to drag into the table cell. And I'm going to get rid of that. Switch that to normal text. All right, so in the box below, highlight word by double clicking on the word. I'm going to highlight my table. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to those table properties because I do like to center in the middle. Now, if I go to a table border of 0, I can get rid of the border. But remember, my directions were in the box. So in this case, I'm going to leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I want to change the font color by clicking on the A in the toolbar. Again, I'm going to insert a table. I do a 2x1. And depends on how big I want this. And the other thing I do is I do Control plus, Control plus, Control plus, Control plus. Because I need to take a screenshot. And when I take my screenshot, I want it to be big, you know? I'm going to take a screenshot right now. Control 0 returns it back to the same zoom. So now, and I'm going to, again, do my right click, go to my table properties. I like it in the middle. And then depending on, I'm going to make this font bigger, you know, rethinking some of that. So I take screenshots. I first do Control plus, Control plus, Control plus. So try doing that somewhere using Control plus to zoom in, Control minus to zoom out, and Control 0 to reset the zoom. So when I'm zoomed in, then I take my screenshot so I get a nice clear image, and then I drag them into a table cell with directions side by side with that as to what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, so what we're each going to do is we are going to choose one of these. I'm going to claim one. We're going to create a Google Doc with some directions that we could use to give students. So if you would add something on one of them, put my Bitmoji on it and claim it. Oh, this one. Because I think I'm funny. See, I am funny. All right, so if you would add a text box or your Bitmoji, when you go to do the Bitmoji, if you just type your name at the top, it'll
Nice.
customize you a Bitmoji with your name. Didn't we all need that?
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I know Marianne is swinging from the chandelier. Just being funny. Just being funny. All right, friends. So what we're going to do is make sure that our directions document, I'm going to go to this blue share button. I am going to change it to anyone with the link can view. Anyone with the link can view. And on my slide, I'm going to link to it so that other people can, Michelle, put that on the slide that you want. So you do a Control X. Which one do you claim? So we're going to divide and conquer here, guys.
Okay.
Divide and conquer. So we're each going to try and make a document for something we feel like students struggle with. And just knock it out.
Cut and paste, copy.
I do have Snagit, and you might not. So if you need me to make you a screenshot or an animated process, let me know.
So anything from 10, 11, 12? Okay.
Or any of them. Or make a new one and put your name on it.
I don't know.
What's something you feel like you would really benefit from having something like what I'm making here?
And if we don't finish today, we can continue, of course, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I'm learning a lot just by finding out how to do a directions document.
Exactly.
Marianne, which one are you going to go on?
To be an hour.
I think I'm going to do cut and paste.
What are we talking about? Drag, Alice? Dragging an image? Or?
Yeah, maybe. You know, for me,
Yeah.
it's tricky because you got to get the edge when you're on a Google Slides. You got to get the edge in order to drag it. So this one might make a good, make your directions document in a slides.
Oh, that's too confusing to me. That's hard. That's high level. I don't even know how to do that.
So to be fair, none of us know everything. Agreed?
Yeah, I don't know how to even, yeah.
In this part right here where we were brainstorming, or no, where I was demonstrating, did anybody see me do something that they didn't know?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
The table property things.
Yeah, the table property. You wouldn't know if somebody showed it to you. And so it's okay. Do something you do know. And if there's something that you feel like students would need to know, but you don't know how to do it, just add a slide on there.
You did changing the font and all that?
File that we'll put them out there, but we don't have to necessarily lead it. And then I am adding, you know, it's in the thing there. So anyone who wasn't able to come today, the Google Slides is anyone can edit. So I'll go ahead and put an invitation to others that they can create a document slide. Well, claim a slide, create a directions document, right? Okay.
Does yours highlighting text had the changing the font and all that, the size?
Yeah, but changing font and size I think would be a good one.
Okay. I'll add that on.
Okay. I'm going to just screen share what I'm doing. So whoever's watching this video doesn't just see my face. Okay. So I'm going to finish this one. If you guys could just look over me real quick. I started with this idea and then didn't finish. Create sections in your directions by going to where it says normal text and switching it to like heading 1 and heading 2. So create headings and they should populate on the left side in that document outline.
Oh, okay.
Is that under format, Alice?
It's just right in the toolbar where it says normal text next to the font.
Okay.
So it says styles here. And then I can do, so please make sure that your document has those.
For each section that you're doing?
Right.
After you do it, can you go back and change it, or once you do it, it's done?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ha, I'm finding so many steps for copy and paste.
I know, right?
Like, do they know what a cursor is? And then they have to know about, okay.
Yep, exactly. Look at
Like, how do you know the vocabulary to tell them? Like, go to the.
So this is a template for this particular. Oh wait, so you're not looking at mine. Just how do you know what vocabulary to use?
Like, for the for the font, go to the font menu.
Put whatever it is, and then we can have it open for critique. I mean, because how would you know?
Yeah, what is this? Yeah, what is it called up here? Is there a search? Yeah.
And if you're not sure, have me take a look at it. That doesn't mean I know either.
I have to confess, this is the first time I learned that you can double click on a word and highlight it. I always do a click and drag. And it works. I mean, it's so. Do we give them two options like, hey, you can highlight the text by double clicking on the word or by clicking and drag? So, but
Yeah.
it's easier to do double click.
It depends on what skill you're trying to teach.
Okay. Okay.
But look at what I've got going on right here. So I am saying, hey, double click to highlight the text. So I get them to kind of practice this skill. And then it's a template here where I'm like, hey, teacher, put your vocabulary words in this box. I'm leaving it blank because it's a template.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put another box where they would put a paragraph which includes the vocabulary words.
Mm-hmm.
Practice the skill.
I see. Right. Because the point is not to practice the text skills in isolation. So
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So when it's if they see vocabulary words, they just have to put whatever vocabulary words they're working on. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
And I'm going to right click on this box, and in table properties, I'm going to make sure it's aligned in the middle, even though it's blank right now. Just saying. And then I can make your animations if you need me to, so just let me know.
Alice, I only know how to screenshot on Snagit so far.
Oh, you have Snagit?
Yeah, but I don't know how to do video. I only been screenshotting.
Let me do a full screen because this is like the bestest.
I only know how to screenshot so far. That's all
I know. I need to know that too.
I've only been screenshotting.
Let's take a look. You can see my whole screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start I have the countdown set in Snagit. So I'm making select my area that I want to screenshot. And then you see the first option is image, the second option is video. So now I'm going to record video. I click the red button to record video. I record whatever I'm recording, and then I stop. So that you have a video over here in Snagit. And then it just says right here, there's one button that says GIF.
Hmm.
So if I want to show the font part, I got to show myself clicking down on the font part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so let me do a full screen on that. I'm going to control plus zoom in. That's too much. Control minus. So now I'm going to just highlight, or rather lasso, circle, whatever, the pertinent part. I click the record a video.
And what's the other option besides GIF?
Just take a screenshot. So you see I'm modeling how to change it.
Mm.
You want to keep it as short as possible. Then I just hit GIF. And then I literally, watch how I get this in here. Control 0 returns my zoom. So I've got the Snagit layered on top of the Google Doc or the Google Slides. And I just drag it in. I just drag it on there. I just drop it on the Google Doc.
Okay.
You know, I have a Snagit. I have to confess, I have not used it. Are you planning to do a webinar in a Snagit anytime soon?
I could. I've done several, this school year, but I mean, I don't mind doing more.
Yeah, the next step I need, like this one. I've been only screenshotting. Okay, I know what to do now. Let me try.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you want to look over here at this, but notice I'm using heading 1 and heading 2. So heading 1 obviously is my main outline, and then heading 2 is the task. So you can see in the outline bar to the left here that the tasks are indented down because I used headline 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's something you can do with Snagit. I'm going to do Control N. And I'm going to go to my stamps. And I can get stamps of my keyboard. And I use that a lot.
I like that you can make them bigger. Can you make them bigger, right?
I can, but it's pretty big right now. I don't know if you can see down here where it says the size is 860 by 277.
Yeah.
860 is huge.
That's how you put it in your newsletters.
Yeah, well,
It's
it's all over the place. And then I literally drag it onto my Google Doc.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the kids know the shortcuts better than me. I just go old school. They know it more.
They don't know.
Some they know, yeah. So what did they try? Yeah.
So, Alice, I made a copy of your directions, that document with directions.
Yeah.
So, do I put it on? Of course, I'm going to change it to for my I'm doing copy and paste or cut and paste.
Yeah.
And do I embed it in on my slide, or first I work on the document, I do the directions, and then
For our purposes, you're just going to get the link. You're going to click on the share button, get the link, change it to anyone the link can view, and hyperlink it on our slides just so we could all get a copy of it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, get it. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. I mean, I should have made a spreadsheet. Let's be honest, Marianne.
That's all right. It doesn't matter. I'm learning a lot by making it. I'm like,
Exactly.
ooh.
We should make a part B to this, and we'll just continue.
I think so.
Slides. So, Marianne, if you want to suggest another workshop time that we just sit down and make directions documents for stuff we feel that we need,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, definitely I'm gonna work on it, and then, but I would love to see what we come up next. No, if next Sunday works at 11, we can do. I mean, whatever time it works for us, or another time.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the time to do this. It's
Yeah.
like it's a whole new world of possibilities.
I agree.
For next year's group, or even what they don't know now.
Yeah.
Some of these things they don't know.
You guys might want to watch me do this just in case if you're curious. I'm going to demonstrate highlighting with the shift key and arrows. And I'm recording it. So do you ever do this where you highlight and then you don't get the whole thing? Hold down shift and the arrow key. You can get that one more letter in there.
Hmm. And the arrow key is the greater or lesser than.
That's a
right?
that is a Chromebook key. That's what the arrow looks like on the Chromebook.
Okay. And the same in the PCs too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I need that on my phone.
Right.
All right. So I'm done with that one. What's another one I can make? Typing a web address. I will claim this one. Come on. Now I'm going to take the directions document I already have. I'm going to file and make a copy. But I don't have to like reset the page margins and stuff. What was it? When I always have a different Bitmoji. All right, if anybody wants to get crazy, you can watch me do something right now. Do you see how I have a 2x1 table? And I'm going to click on the edge of the table. Do you see how it just gives me the upper left? It doesn't give me all the way across the top of the table. It's just the upper left. And I hold down the shift key and I click on the left edge. And I'm holding down the shift key and I click on the bottom edge. And I'm going to come up here to the toolbar and I'm going to make a border width of 0.
Mm.
So then it makes an answer box that's next to the text.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know you can do so much with tables.
And I like to have students write in handwriting, so like that's where they're gonna put it. So I'll just do a sample. Yeah, that looks good. Delete it, but it's all ready for them to type in there. Okay.
Should it be 2 separate animations for the font size, or can it be the same video thing?
What do you mean?
Like, do I need to screen record 2 different videos for that? Because it's right next to each other.
I mean, just a bit. You're trying to communicate clearly, so whatever you think helps.
That's true. Okay. One thing at a time. Just 8-year-olds. Gotta think young, yeah.
We would just sit here like an all-day blitz. We would just, oh, and what about this? Oh, and what about this?
Alice, how do you get into? What do you do to get into a Snagit? I have it, and what is there a shortcut?
Sure. You mean to make Snagit just open up on your computer?
Yes.
Oh. And you have a PC?
Yes.
Which of course I have a Mac. You go to the little Windows thing and it has all of your stuff in there. And when you open it, down on the shelf at the bottom, you can right click and pin it to your shelf.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pin it on my pin to start or pin to taskbar?
Pin to taskbar.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Oh, this is the first time I'm gonna use it. Woo!
This is very productive. Look at us.
Well, I'm working slowly, but yeah, now I have to find it. Oh, I found it. Yes. Okay. Mm.
Okay.
I think you have another webinar coming today.
I do today?
Oh no, I was just, it's a question. Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't. No.
Okay.
No.
So should I make another another calendar again this meeting for next Sunday. Is that okay? Is that okay with everybody else?
Let me take it's a good time. I mean, yeah, sure, do it.
This is good.
10 or 11?
Okay.
Okay.
This time is good.
Okay.
All right, all right. Well, I got 2 of them done, my friends.
Woohoo! Do I need to have my webcam off when I do the Snagit video capture?
You have no.
On, right? Because okay. let me
Well, I
try.
mean, Snagit, you can record your face instead of your screen.
Oh, I don't want my face,
No.
right? So I turned that off. Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, my friends, I told someone I would go pick up Facebook Marketplace. They're selling some dishes, so I'm going to go pick those up. So I will see you guys next time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.